Hey, this is Brent Bristow from Emerald City Council, and I'm also a professor of music at Arkansas State University, Beebe. And I want to thank you for watching this video and would like to ask that you please take a moment and subscribe to our channel, help us out a little bit, and we would really greatly appreciate it. But the point of this video is I want to talk about some technology that I'm using both live and I've also been using it recording-wise. If you've listened to our album with Emerald City Council, Motion Carries, there are several places on the album where I'm playing sax, but you also hear synthesizer doubling what I'm playing. So it sounds like two parts happening at the same time. Now, I think everyone has sort of assumed that I just, played the synthesizer part on the keyboard and played the sax part separately, but that's actually not what's happening. So I'm using software to use my saxophone to trigger the synthesizer sounds. And I'm using this live. We just did a live performance at ASU-Beebe a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to be using this at Morris Fest next week. Now, if you're a progressive rock fan, you know Morris Fest is a very big progressive rock event in the U.S., and we're very excited to be a part of this, and we're going to be using this technology there as well. So the software is called MIDI Guitar 2, and it is produced by a company called Jam Origin, and I will put a link to their website in the comments. It is available, I believe, for both Mac and PC, and also you can use it on like your iPad. So it's a very versatile program. And basically, it allows you to take your regular guitar with no MIDI pickups or anything like that, and you can play any kind of sound. Now, Paul Bilatovich, if you're familiar with Paul, he's a good friend of ours. He's made a video about this, which I will also put in the links, put a link to. But Paul is in Carl Palmer of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's band, and Paul is actually playing all of those great parts that Keith Emerson played on Hammond B3 or Moog or whatever, but Paul's playing it on guitar, and he's not using a special guitar with special pickups. He's just using his regular guitar, and it works really great. So he's able to use that in order to recreate some of those different sounds and be very authentic to what's going on. So we're going to be using this, and I want to just kind of show you here real quickly. I'm just using a standard microphone. This is just a clip-on Shure wireless mic. This is the only technology I'm using. I'm just using my Yamaha Custom Z that I just made a video of that Yamaha provided me with. Steve from Claude Lakey provided me with a new 7-Star 3 Claude Lakey mouthpiece, which I love. And then Glenn and George Reeder of Rovner provided me a while back with this gold-plated platinum ligature. The platinum ligature, both the regular silver and the gold-plated, those are my favorite ones, depending on which mouthpiece I'm using. This one works really great with this setup. And so everything here is just your standard saxophone setup. The only bit of technology that I'm using is just a microphone, and any microphone will do. So with the receiver for this, since it's a wireless, it has two outputs on it. It has a regular 1/4-inch output, which I'm using to go to the interface to create the synthesizer double. And so that's going straight after that. But it also has an XLR output, which I will be taking directly to the board so we can get a dry saxophone signal separate of that. So we can control them separately, balance them separately. So it will be completely different. So I'm going to give you an idea. The beginning of Realize 1, which is the first track on the album, it starts with being doubled with a sound from Analog Lab, which I imported into MIDI Guitar 2, which creates the sounds of these different open fifths. All right. All right. I will demonstrate another one. The beginning of Noisy Talking uses a different sound with sort of the fifths in there. And then for something a little more monophonic, all right, so that gives you an idea. It sort of opens up the sound and allows me to do a lot of different things. And as you can hear, just whatever I play is going to be doubled with a synth. Now, there are a few things that I'm having to do in order to facilitate this, because this is designed for guitar, not for saxophone. So the first thing is that I'm having to do a very heavy gate on it. So I have a pedal down here that I'm running between the receiver for the microphone into the interface, which I have very heavily gated to keep any false triggers from the microphone picking up any extraneous sounds. Now, the other thing is that if you'll notice, I'm having to keep the mic very close, And particularly with soprano sax, one of the things that I'm noticing is that when I'm up in the upper stack and into the palm keys, most of the sound is coming out here. So I'm really having to play very loud for the microphone to pick it up. And then probably the strangest thing is that sometimes when I play, if I don't give a definite end to the sound, it's not doing it now, but sometimes it will sort of keep going. So I have to give a very definite dot kind of sound as opposed to just stopping the air. Some kind of sympathetic trigger, I'm not sure what it is. But hopefully this will, the technology, I know they have a MIDI Guitar 3 that's in beta testing right now. And hopefully they're going to continue to improve this technology. And now maybe that they know that we're using it for saxophone, maybe they might start looking at making some changes to make it a little bit more friendly for us. So anyway, if you're going to be at Morris Fest, first of all, come by and say hi. And secondly, when you hear those sounds, now you know what it is that we're going to be using this. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And otherwise, check us out. Check out Emerald City Council. And we hope you will continue watching our videos. We'll have some more stuff coming in the future. Thanks.